live yet. There we go. We're on the air. It says we're on the air, live on the air, and it will be probably, like I said earlier, a good minute before we actually start to show up. But once we show up, I think we'll have a really interesting. Oh, I see us. I see us. We are live, and we are showing up. So
I see it too.
Yeah, I don't know how many people. I see that we have 3 people watching. I can't tell who anyone is yet, but I am super.
Yes, it says 6 watching.
Yeah. Oh, wow. So I think we're going to have a good crowd. The topic tonight is, and I said it in my little video intro that I posted. It's going to be diet and fitness and health. And my passion, intermittent fasting, along with ketogenic lifestyle. And I think Laura does intermittent fasting, although she doesn't follow keto. And Glitzy is going to be our Mata in this live broadcast. She's going to ask most of our questions. So I'm really super, super thrilled that I have Laura from ShakeUp Makeup, the gorgeous blonde sitting right there. And I have that hot pistol, Mary, Glitzy Fritzy. I think everyone knows Mary.
I'm the dummy in the room who doesn't know anything.
And then so she's going to ask all the questions. And I did email a couple of questions we got from some of our friends out there that have been waiting for this live broadcast. So Mary does have those questions. And I can see, I'm just looking to see, I have Mary Reed. So I have a couple of wrenches out in the room. I actually have, Sheila's out there, Life with Lily, and Sheila, and Mary Reed, and Glitzy. The 3 of them have wrenches. And it looks like we have 29 viewers and 3 thumbs up. So we're going to have to really work on getting some more thumbs up. And with that, I'm going to turn it over. I don't know if Mary wants to.
Yes, I have some questions.
Okay.
The number one thing that I was kind of thinking about was, I was wondering, what is the difference between a keto diet and the Atkins diet? I had heard about the Atkins quite some time ago, and the keto diet sort of sounds like it's Atkins.
It's very close in many ways to Atkins, where the premise is it's low carbohydrates. But with Atkins, you're encouraged to buy, processed food. You can eat the Atkins bars. You can eat a lot more different types of fat. Where in keto, it's if you're what I call a keto purist is not going to eat anything out of a package, and it's a certain ratio of good fats, very, very low carbs, and moderate protein. Where Atkins is high fat, higher protein, and low carbs. So I think the big difference is that one is, not going to encourage you to eat bars or things out of a package, and try to stick as natural as possible and eat towards your macronutrients.
So that Lunchable I had this afternoon would not be a good thing to have.
What did you have this afternoon? I don't know.
It was a Lunchable with Oreos.
No. Yes. No.
It's processed. I mean, there was, so you have the turkey that's in there. That's protein. And I mean, I looked at the carbs on the back, 36. So if I'm saying I'm going to have 60 carbs today, I pretty much ate more than half of my carbs in the Lunchable.
Yeah, I try not to have 60 carbs in a day. That's a bit too much for me.
How much would you eat in a day?
It really depends on most days because of the intermittent fasting. Did we lose Laura?
I think we did.
Oh, so Laura, I hope you can just follow the link and come right back in the room.
Michelle Sheridan says, how long do you stay on the diet? And I think I might even know the answer to that. It's not a diet, right? It's a lifestyle.
Oh, yeah. So if you're asking intermittent fasting, the more I study, the more I read about intermittent fasting, the more I realize I can do this for the rest of my life because it seems almost extremely natural. Keto, I mean, I have my moments where I really cheat, and then I have my moments where I'm really good. But if I'm in fat burning ketosis, I want to stay there as much as possible.
You're right, Michelle. Lunchables and Oreos are not a good lunch.
No,
It was all that was here. So I heard you say that the keto diet is moderate protein. And
yes.
see, I thought it was high protein. So how much protein would you say is there such a thing as too much protein?
Yes, there is. And so pardon me while I look to see if I can find, I'm going to send Laura another invite just in case.
Yeah, see if you can get Laura back in the room.
I can send her another invite. So if she's seeing that, hopefully she will, she'll be able to get it. So,
okay, you see that, and I'm going to address what's coming in the room.
Okay, so I try to stick to about maybe 70 grams of protein.
70 grams of protein total in a day?
Yeah, and that's lean protein, and that would be on my high end.
Swoozie wants to know how this differs from paleo.
I don't follow paleo, so I'm not too sure. Is that more vegetables?
It was my understanding that the paleo diet, and Swoozie, you can correct me here if I'm wrong, but the paleo diet is sort of eating like a caveman. So basically, if God put it here on God's green earth, you can eat it. And if not, it's not on the diet. So all processed foods would be out. Right? Am I right there on that, what paleo diet is? And also, C. Smith Upchick said that she lost, like, I think I have to scroll back up here and see, but I think she said she lost 8 pounds. What was she doing? It's too far up. I can't tell. But she lost quite a bit of weight. And Swoozie says that the paleo is also called the caveman diet.
Okay.
So this would mean, I guess, if it grows on this earth and it's in its natural state, you can eat it. Or if you were to cook it, maybe.
Yeah. I eat, you know, in any given day, I try to eat lean protein. So I eat a lot of chicken. So I also have no problem with hamburger. I just don't eat the bun or the French fries. I ditch that. But when I do a hamburger, I like a big, you know, 90%, 95% fat-free, nice lean, grass-fed beef if I can get it. If I can't get the grass-fed beef, you know, I'll still have it, but that would be my preferred type of a red meat. And the same thing, I'll have a, you know, I'll do a rib roast, but I want my ribeye to be a good cut, a good beef. But other than that, I'm fish and chicken and a lot of vegetables, a ton of vegetables.
So how much protein would you say that you have in a meal?
In a meal, now it's just Jay and I, so I don't have little kids to cook for anymore or anything of that nature. So poor Jay, he has to eat what I eat in default. But I might have, depending if it's a rib, a steak, I might have 3 to 4 ounces. I weigh it. I weigh it. I put it on a little scale and I weigh it. And then depending on the cut of beef will tell me how many grams that normally will be. And the same thing, now with chicken, I'll have a lot more. Chicken and tuna and fish, I'll have a lot more. I eat a lot of salmon, which is, of course, high in fat, but it's better fat. And I try to have the wild, good salmon as opposed to the farm raised. But I don't always stick to that. I'm really upset I can't get Laura back in the room.
I know it's a hard thing to do while you're live and trying to talk to me and also have the chat room there.
Yeah, I'm ignoring the chat room. I see a bunch of people have popped in.
Yes.
But Laura from ShakeUp Makeup somehow she either lost connection or whatever. But if you're listening to this, Laura, all you have to do is click that invite.
Chris Jenner, huh? Sorry.
I don't see her in the chat either. But anyways, and I know it's too bad because Laura does intermittent fasting. So, and she does not follow a keto or a low carb diet. But she does intermittent fasting, and she was telling me the other day that with her intermittent fasting, she's not a heavy lady. She's a slender woman, and she's always had, you know, these couple of pounds that she's wanted to get rid of. Especially the older you get, the more you have to weight. And the only thing that's helped her take that last few pounds off has been intermittent fasting. It's worked really fabulous for her.
Oh, and I want to ask you some more about that in a minute. We got a couple of questions in the room.
Oh,
wait a minute.
back.
I think Laura's back.
I see her picture, her face. I don't know if she's live yet. Turn your camera on, Laura, but I see her face.
Dead Boy wants to know, what kind of vegetables are you not allowed to eat, like sugar and starch kind of vegetables?
I don't eat, in general, I don't eat a lot of carrots. I don't eat a lot of corn. Anything really starchy, I try to avoid. And I really, in the summertime, we have fresh corn. We have, farm stands. So in the summertime, I'll eat more corn. I'm a corn snob. It's going to be a fresh corn that I'm going to grill, and then I just have to offset those carbohydrates, because if you watch my camping videos, you saw the lobster dish and the grilled corn. The only time I have that is in the summertime. Laura, I'm glad you're back. We were talking about you.
Crazy 60s lady wants to know, are you concerned about the mercury in fish, and how do you work around it?
I am a little concerned because I eat a lot of salmon, but in general, I guess I'm just not overly concerned to the point where I'll stop eating it. It's sort of a give and take for me. When I say I eat a lot of salmon, if I have salmon one night a week, I'll have a piece that probably weighs maybe 4 ounces. So, it's a smaller piece. It's not like a big hunk. And Laura,
that's a good question. I don't know why. I thought that mercury, we only had to worry about that with tuna, but I guess anything in the sea, any kind of fish or seafood, right?
I'm a big lobster eater.
Welcome back, Laura. Where did we lose you to?
I don't know if she can hear us. Laura?
The two real chicks, Carla and Cindy, are here, and they are sitting next to each other eating. I, for one, want to know what you're eating.
So, Laura, if you can hear us, they asked how much weight you lost on intermittent fasting. I don't know if she can hear. Laura? Oh, it must be Wi-Fi.
Oh, I feel so sorry for her. She's having some kind of issue.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, thank you. I don't know. I had some issues here.
How much weight have you lost from intermittent fasting? Probably isn't going to be able to. Oh, what a shame. Well, hopefully she'll get that back. But in the chat room, I see Gloria, I see Michelle, I see Mary, I see Brandolyn, all the way from Hawaii, Marlene, Charlotte, 50 plus fireworks. She is concerned about this.
Say I lost about 8 to 10 pounds of hard to lose pounds.
I'm hearing every other word. Mary, you have a question? Mary, you have a question?
Yeah. So about farm raised fish. Good, bad?
I know I'm plugged into the Ethernet too. You'd think it would be okay. I'd say I lost between 8 to 10. I would say a couple of months I've lost about 8 pounds.
And that's changing nothing in your diet but intermittent fasting, correct?
Well, when you think about it, intermittent fasting for me cuts out one whole meal that I would have ate.
Yeah. And for me, it cuts out a whole meal and a lot of junk food I probably would have had too.
Exactly.
Like tonight, I came home. I'm a golf widow, so I didn't have to cook anything. But I came home after teaching the class, and I was hungry. So I took a couple of eggs and I put them in some Kerrygold butter, and with a piece of bacon, and that's what I had for dinner. I had 2 eggs and Kerrygold butter and a piece of bacon.
The room wants to know if Laura can switch to another computer or her phone.
That's an idea, Laura. Can you go on your phone or your iPad instead of the computer? I think she might be totally frozen. Maybe somebody can type that in the chat box. to her and she might be able to see it. Not sure. But
Okay, so
sorry, technical.
Lost again.
Go ahead.
One thing I do like about this, I'm not going to call it a diet.
For me, all I did was,
Oh, I can't. Can you switch to your iPad instead of your laptop or whatever you're on, Laura? She's like totally frozen. She's not.
Yeah.
Well,
Deb Boy wants to know, Monika, what kind of vitamins do you take?
I end up taking a woman's multivitamin, and this is the biggest issue I have because I have a hard time swallowing pills, so I don't like to swallow big pills. So I take Chewies, and the Chewies, oops, she's gone again. And the Chewies are higher in carbohydrates than regular popping the pills. But I do take a woman's multiple vitamin. I take calcium. I take potassium. I take magnesium. I take a vitamin C, and I take biotin. And I take this.
I have that as well. So can you tell everybody what this is and why it's good for you?
It's a collagen supplement, and I started taking it in January of 2016. At the time, I was following a couple of ketogenic boards, and a lot of people were talking about, especially when you're dieting and you're depleting your system of certain nutrients, that how important a collagen supplement is. And they were saying it's doubly more important if you're a mature woman because you lose so much collagen. And I kept thinking, I'm definitely a mature woman. So I ordered 1 can of it, and I take 2 tablespoons twice a day. So this is grass-fed, clean collagen. It doesn't have a bunch of fillers. And I started taking it in January at the height of the winter time. All my life, I've had horribly dry elbows to the point where my elbows crack and bleed and stuff like that. So in the wintertime, it's really bad because we have forced hot air heat. And I noticed probably mid-February or late February, I was doing something. I was putting a sweater on, and instead of my elbow catching on the wool on the sweater, it felt smooth. So I touched my elbow, and I was like, I totally freaked out. My elbow was as smooth as a baby's bum. And I ran out in the living room and I said to Jay, look at my elbow. Because he knows my rough elbows, they peel and they crack and they be icky, icky, ugly. I said, Jay, my elbow is like a little baby's butt. It's like so soft. And the only thing I had done was add the collagen. So, and that took about, for me, for the dry elbow it has not come back. It's been totally a year and a half. I've not had a dry issue at all. But my elbow took a good probably 6 weeks, 7 weeks for me to notice it. Like I said, beginning of January to mid to late February. And when that happened, Jay started taking it. When he started taking it the season before, he couldn't even walk the golf course without having joint pain. Mm-hmm. And he started taking it in February when he saw my elbows. I guess we had to be convinced. And then that spring, when he started his golf league, he couldn't believe it. He really couldn't believe it. He was able to walk the entire golf course without having to take a car and not have pain. So he's not like 100% totally pain-free all the time, but he's like a good 90% better than he was. Every now and then he still has to take some aspirin, but in general, he'll come home tonight after walking that course and be totally fine other than the heat.
I put the link to the stuff in the room for you guys in case you're interested. It's called Great Lakes Gelatin. This is what it looks like.
Collagen hydroslate joint care.
And the important thing about this that is that it's from kosher beef.
Yeah.
Grass-fed, nothing bad in this stuff for you. And I can attest to what she's saying. Many of you know that I am a pain patient, and so some days my pain pills do not help me. And so this has really helped boost those. Welcome back, Laura.
Laura, are you on your iPad? Are you on
Okay, there, I see a different background, lady, so I think she's on a different device.
I hope so.
Marlene is saying that
Better. I changed.
Oh, good.
which collagen's not vegan? The one we're showing?
It's beef. It's kosher beef.
Oh, okay, and vegan isn't. Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah, you can get one from, shellfish and, deal with the mercury, and, I guess nothing is perfect, but this is, it's kosher beef, and it's pure collagen hydroslate. So I think it's helped me. I'm not stuck on a brand. I don't, I buy this by the 8-pound bag. Let's put it that way, because that's the cheapest way for me to buy it.
Monika, Deb Boy has an interesting question. Oh, I make beef broth from grain-fed beef and bones. Would that be the same?
Yes, and Laura does the same thing. Don't you, Laura? You do the bone broth, if she can hear us.
Yes, I do. I actually got a great recipe from this book, Dr. Kellyan's bone broth book.
Oh,
and I make my own. What I've been doing, our local grocery store now has organic rotisserie chicken. So I buy that, take the chicken off, use that to make like a chicken salad, and then take those bones and use that for the bone broth.
Oh, fantastic. How do you do that?
Yeah, and the bone broth, it's so easy to do because what I've been using that I really love is my Instant Pot. I take the Instant Pot, put the chicken bones in, and another thing I didn't know till recently is you can reuse those bones 2 to 3 times. So after I've made the bone broth, I take the bones out and freeze them and reuse them again a second time.
I did not know that.
Yeah, you just put the bones in with some water, and I put in carrots and celery. You don't eat those things. You just sort of throw the vegetables out when you're done. Those aren't nutrition to the bone broth.
Okay, so.
But it's really quick and easy in the Instant Pot.
So so evidently what I'm hearing is it doesn't make any difference that the chicken was already cooked in the rotisserie. You can still take those same bones and make beef or broth out of it, even though they've been cooked.
Yes, you can, I believe. I'm not an expert on the bone broth.
Right, that's what you want, bones.
Okay, did not know that. I thought that once you cooked the bones in something that they were gone, so you just throw it away. Then I didn't know you could reuse them.
Yeah.
It seems like some other people in the room didn't know that either.
Yeah, it makes excellent soup too. If you didn't want to, just have it as a broth, but you can make a homemade soup really easy too. So.
And what about this? Deb Boy says, put it in your crock pot and simmer on low for 2 days. And yes, you can reuse it, but you have to put it in apple cider vinegar?
I know I put apple cider vinegar in my recipe. That's one of the things you do because the apple cider pulls out the stuff you want out of the bones. It actually pulls it out.
Wow.
Interesting. Okay, so why don't you go ahead and tell us exactly, step by step, how you do that again, Laura? I want to write that down.
Okay, well, I'm gonna take a look at her book right now too, okay. So I give you a little more exact details. But okay. So, for example, I put in the bones. Then you use about a 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar. And carrots, celery, an onion. She says you can use tomato. I haven't used any tomato yet. And you put in 1 or 2 whole cloves, and then some you can use some black peppercorns and a little parsley. And you fill, when you do the Instant Pot, you fill the water where it covers the bones. if you cook in the Instant Pot, about 120 minutes it cooks. Or you can do, like he said in the comments, put it into a crock pot. I like the Instant Pot because it's just bigger and it's really easy to use.
Whoa, I didn't. And so with that,
that's about it.
So would you not need this then if you just made your own bone broth and drank it every day?
Yeah.
Because that would be pretty yummy.
As long as
Yeah, you probably wouldn't. And I find that it helps me not be hungry. And also the one point I really wanted to make tonight that I've heard, at least from a doctor on YouTube, he said the bone broth won't take you out of the fast. So if you wake up in the morning and you're really hungry, but you're trying to fast till say 10 or noon, just have that bone broth and that will hold you out in the morning till you can eat your meal.
Interesting, because I get like about 3 a.m. I want to get up and eat. So I could have bone broth and be okay then. Fantastic.
Right, and I just put it right in a mug and drink it like you're drinking coffee or tea. I do it at school for lunch. Instead of eating lunch, because I usually have a lot to do, I just heat up the bone broth and drink it while I'm working, and it's great.
Fantastic.
So
Okay,
Laura,
I have a question from the room.
wait a minute, Laura, there's a request for Laura that she does a video filming exactly how she makes bone broth. So you're going to have to do a video on that, Laura, for everybody.
Yeah.
And I did do a video of talking about bone broth a little bit a couple weeks ago. And when I initially started, I didn't have the book and I just wanted something quick to get started. So there's a company called Kitchen Basics. They make a bone broth that they sell at my local grocery store. So I just bought that and it's delicious. And I drank that for a while. The thing I like about making my own is there's less salt in it, cheaper.
Yeah.
When I freeze it, I put it into little Pyrex glass dishes and put it in the freezer, and I make enough for about 2 weeks.
Michelle Sheridan, you can just mix it. Look, I'm going to take it right here, and I'm just going to dump it right here in my coffee.
And it's like about 45 calories, I believe. And that won't break your fast either. So if you're doing intermittent fasting and you get up and you have black coffee and you put the collagen in your coffee, it won't break your fast. But if you add what I do for my bulletproof coffee, you add this baby to it, that will break your fast.
Oh, see, now I've been messing up then, because I've been getting up every morning, and the first thing I've been doing is I've been putting this in my coffee and drinking it, and then I don't eat till noon.
Yeah.
That was actually a question I had for you on this list, was how is this not, you know, something that's breaking the fast?
The MCT oil is excellent for you. Excellent. It's one of the best fats. If I'm low on my fat grams for the day, I'll just take I'll take a spoon of that, an ounce of that, to get really.
Well, that explains why my weight may be stalling then. I'm not really intermittent fasting if I'm taking this in my coffee when I get up in the morning.
Yeah, I'm not an expert on the intermittent fasting, but my understanding is that if you are consuming something like a bone broth or a collagen in the morning, and it's 50 calories or under, I think it's like 45 or something, that won't break your fast. But I'm sure that there's, you know, other people that'll say yes, but more people that I've talked to and I've read and I've heard have said that won't break your fast. So I take my collagen every morning. I do the MCT oil.
For all the people who are asking whether or not I can taste that in this coffee, no, I cannot. It has absolutely no taste. It tastes like I'm drinking my coffee.
Right. I don't ever taste it, and I drink it with water half the time in the morning. So, you know, I'm either putting it in black coffee with a little bit, because I am addicted to my sweets. So, you know, I do use an artificial sweetener, and I'm not saying that you should use an artificial sweetener, but I have to have my artificial sweetener, and I do use my Easy Sweet. And I've used this for a long time, and it has no hidden carbs. Like if you take a packet of sugar substitute, that has hidden carbs that you have to count on a keto diet. This has no hidden. This is great for diabetes, you know, people that have diabetic. It has no impact and has no hidden carbs. So I usually put 2 drops of that in my coffee and 2 tablespoons of this, and that's my coffee in the morning. Now, if I'm doing a bulletproof coffee, I add the MCT oil.
I have 2 questions, one for Monika and one for Laura. Monika's question is, from Swoozy, can you run through your daily meal?
My daily meal, I can. Most days, I don't eat until about 12:30, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Some days it's just a protein shake like today because I had to teach a class from 1 to 4. I wanted to break my fast at 12:30. I knew I wouldn't have time to eat a lunch. So I made myself a protein shake and I put my MCT oil in there. I put a bunch of other cinnamon, a bunch of other things in my low carb protein. And I drank that, and then I taught a class from 1 to 4. And then normally, when I'm not teaching like that, normally I have a salad with some form of protein in it. And it could be a little bit of cheese. It could be, you know, a little bit of chicken most of the time. I'll take a chicken breast, I'll cut it in half, and I might have, you know, 2 or 3 ounces in my salad. And then dinner is, oftentimes it's, you know, it's fish or it's beef, and I roast cauliflower. Cauliflower is my downfall. It has carbs, but I'm very, you know, they're good for me, and I roast cauliflower, and I love it with Parmesan cheese. Oh my gosh.
Cauliflower is okay, right?
Yeah, it's
okay.
It's okay. It's like my mashed potatoes. You know what I mean? I don't have potatoes, but I'll have cauliflower.
Okay, I was gonna say, because I've been eating a crap ton of cauliflower.
I make cauliflower.
You find out I'm doing everything wrong tonight.
I make a lot of fat bombs, and I'll have that for a snack. I prefer to make my own fat bombs, but
what is that? Fat bomb?
Like a fat candy bar. But if I'm not weak or rushed for time, I'll buy a little Atkins coconut bar, which a pure keto person would shun on the package of an Atkins bar, but I'm not a purist. So I'll have that. But more often than not, I make my own fat bombs, and oh, I love them. So
back to the fat bomb, because I saw the baking diva also asked in the room, and I'm trying to get my head around, I don't get fat bomb.
She's asking about how do I make a fat bomb?
She was asking something about, she says she loves making fat bombs. I don't even know what the fat bomb is.
So my favorite fat bomb is I buy no sugar added coconut, you know, those coconut flakes that you buy, not the sweetened ones, the unsweetened ones. And I buy dark chocolate, unsweetened chocolate, and I buy, oh, I can see my neighbor out there. And I buy, you know, I use like a pure coconut oil, and I use Kerrygold butter. And that's how I'll make a fat bomb out of that.
Well, that sounds wonderful.
Sometimes I'll add almonds. I also, I try to make a lot of keto recipes, and I will tell you that the first person I ever connected with on YouTube is Cooking Keto with Kristie. And her story just resonated with me. I cried and cried and cried as I watched her intro video. But she came out with her keto cookbook, and I absolutely love it. So she's got a lot of different, you know, keto. And I'm lousy in the kitchen. I'm not a good cook, but I can follow a lot of her stuff, and I really like it.
Can we link yours and the cookbook that Laura's talking about below so everybody can get those later?
Yep.
Okay, and now I got a question from Kelly Girl 83 for Laura. She says, okay, I also would like to know if real sugar is bad for you in moderation versus stevia and other like sweeteners, such as, are they bad for your inside and skin?
Yeah, I mean, really all of it's not that great. I used to have more artificial sweetener. I pretty much don't eat any artificial sweetener anymore, and just small amounts of sugar, but that's just my personal preference. I have a terrible sweet tooth. And one thing I was going to mention that's helped me in the morning is I wake up and have a glass of water with like a tablespoon of vinegar. that up, and that vinegar seems to keep my blood sugar very steady for a long time. That's been a little trick. If you buy the vinegar, you got to get the one with the mother, the real stuff in the bottom of the vinegar, the apple cider vinegar.
Is that
drink? I actually crave it, and
is it apple cider vinegar?
It's vinegar with the mother in it. Okay. And that is a great drink. I like doing that in the morning. That seems to keep my blood sugar real steady.
I had forgotten about that. I love Bragg's apple cider vinegar with the mother. And I mix that with just a little bit of raw honey. And that is so delicious. I'm gonna have to start doing that again.
Another thing I like.
You put honey in yours?
I don't, but I've heard that's great to mix the honey with the vinegar. That's really healthy.
What do you?
But I just drink it with just the vinegar.
Just the vinegar?
Water.
Yeah. Boy, that would take some getting used to for me. Now I do use
it really helps though.
Just plain that vinegar on salad. I love it on salad. And nobody can understand. They're like, how does the smell not kill you? But I'm just used to doing it. I like it. So
I did too. When she by and smells it, she says, how can you take that stuff? That's horrible. But I really like it.
But you guys should try that sometime. Take just a half a teaspoon of raw organic honey and put it in a glass, and then put in, I just take a capful of the Bragg's mother's vinegar. No, it's actually 2 caps full, and I'll put that in there and then stir it so it dissolves the honey, and then fill the glass up with water and ice, and it is so good. I love that. While I got you, Laura,
especially this time of year.
I have more.
This time of year,
oh yeah, it's so refreshing.
Okay.
Gloria Lagroon has a 3-part question. First one.
Oh boy.
First question is, I see a lot of keto and ketogenic dieting. Is there a difference, or are they the same? Keto and ketogenic are the same, right?
Yeah, the same.
Okay.
Keto is just an abbreviation for ketogenic, but there are many different types of sort of programs for keto. You know, like I said earlier, the purists who stick by the book, and then there's someone like me that I deviate, I adjust, I do it my way, and that's the beauty about keto. You can you eat to your own macronutrients, and that makes it work for you. And your nutrients, your macronutrients might be different than mine. So
I'm going to skip down to number 3. Kelly also said, thank you, Laura, for answering her question. I'm going to skip to number 3 because number 2 looks like it's for Monika. So number 3, okay. It says, for all the ladies on the panel, do you work out or do some form of fitness, and what may that be? So Laura can take over now and tell about the fitness.
Yeah, I'm going to try that. So I want to know more information about that, Laura. Go to town.
Well, years ago, it's so funny how things happen. I was at a Friends of the Library sale, and I found this book, and it actually comes with a DVD in it. So I paid just probably $1 for this book. And I went home and read it, and it just made perfect sense. It's called Tapp because it's named after the originator, Teresa Tapp, and this is her here on the cover. Workout so much. It's a very unique workout. I've never done anything like it. And I'm a dancer. So I danced my whole life till I was in my early 20s. And then when I went into teaching, I didn't have time to go to class and be serious about it anymore. And so I wanted worked out. It's just a part, it's like breathing. I don't feel right. I feel very down and depressed if I don't exercise. And for me, really keeping my weight and maintaining it my whole life, I really attribute a lot of it to fitness. And I don't over-exercise. I probably exercise 30 minutes a day. So I'm not a person that's exercising hours and hours every day. But this workout is unique. It's sort of like ballet, yoga, just Pilates all wrapped up in one, but it's something, unless someone has a severe injury, that everyone can do, because one of Teresa's best students is in her 90s. It's just wonderful. And if my back is hurting or anything's bothering me, the first thing I do is I got to do my Tapp. It's going to work out the pain, and it always does. It never lets me down.
Can you demonstrate that for us?
And if you do her program, she says on the cover of the book, lose 2 sizes in 4 weeks. If you follow her program, that will happen. My daughter Danielle did this with me, and within a couple of weeks, various places, I think she had lost like 14 inches. It was incredible.
Wow.
So, and for me, anytime my pants get tight and I realize I need to get back to Tapp, within a week, it will just tighten me up. It's really a great workout. And there's so many people who said it's helped their diabetes. They've gotten off medication. There's people with MS doing it. The beginning of her book is all testimonials of people whose lives have been transformed because of her workout.
Man, that's awesome.
I've never met her before. Like I said, I just found this book at Friends of the Library, and I've been doing her workout, I'd say, about 10 years.
Wow.
I'll
Can
get
you
away from it for a while. Pardon?
Can you demonstrate that for us?
Well, I did a video not too long ago, I think a couple of months ago, about the workout, and I did do some demonstration in it. So if anybody's interested.
I saw that video.
What was great was so many subscribers, lots of women went and ordered a video, and some of them wrote me back that they loved it. One of them even had her husband doing it with her.
Wow.
That do the Tapp that have lost a lot of inches. So of anything I've seen in my whole life, I'm most impressed with Teresa Tapp because it's doable for everybody.
Even more than Laura Sandstone? Is that her name? No, Leslie?
Leslie, the Walk Away the Pounds, Leslie. And I do, you know, sometimes I'll switch off. I'll get on a Leslie kick and I'll say I won't do Tapp for a little bit to just switch it up. But I always go back to it. But I do love Leslie too, because her walking is great. But I don't lose the inches that I do doing Tapp.
I definitely want to try that then. But I am, and I'm sure there's some people in the room possibly who are pain patients. So I'm a chronic pain patient. I have to take pain pills every single day, four times a day. I'm taking something for my back. So you would think that this could be something I could even do if a 90-year-old person can do it, right?
Oh yeah, and one thing that impressed me too is Barry, the lady who's in her 90s now. She has built up her bone density. She had some problems leading towards osteoporosis, and she actually built her bones doing this workout. Wow. Teresa Tapp's been on PBS. She's been with Dr. Perricone, who's a leading dermatologist, and Dr. Oz. She's been on shows with them, so she's very reputable, knowledgeable. She used to work with models earlier in her career and would keep them slim without having to cut back their eating so they could fit in their dresses and stuff. So she's worked with a lot of different people.
That's really interesting. Okay, so then this question, it was question number 2. More or less, how long, well, Monika, do you work out? I am trying to. I'm starting over after I went to the gym for like 3 years. And then, but you guys know I may have said on a channel about my bladder. I had some real severe bladder leakage going on. So I quit the gym out of embarrassment. So I'm just now getting to where I'm going back with my son. And I've been just working weights because I'm scared to do cardio because I'm afraid my blood sugar will drop out from underneath me. So still kind of fighting my footing there. What about you, Monika? Do you do workouts?
I am a fall and winter gym goer, meaning that I do spin class and I do body pump, but typically only in the fall and winter. Spring and summer, I don't. I haven't been to the gym since the winter time, and but I am very active. I have a stand-up desk at work. I have arm weights in the car, so when I'm driving, I'm lifting my arm weights, and people think I'm giving them the finger, and I get all sorts of weird looks. But
well, that's a good idea. You have little arm weights in your car?
I do. And so
That's actually a good idea.
I'll start doing this, especially if I'm sitting in traffic, then I'll use both of them. But otherwise, you know, I'm just like doing one arm, switching, and you got to be careful. I can hit the window, but you know, and then I like this. I mean, I'm a little wacky. I also like to, like I said, I have a stand-up desk at work, so most of 90% of my day when I'm not teaching, I'm standing at my desk. And then the other part of the day when I'm teaching, I'm walking all around. And if I'm showing houses, I'm in and out. And I take walks along the beach and ride my bike. And so I do lead a pretty active lifestyle in general, even though I haven't seen the inside of the gym that I'm paying dearly for every month.
Both of you are more active than I am. Okay, so now the second part of that question was, more or less, how long did it take for you and Jay to notice a difference, benefits from the collagen powder and the MCT oil?
For me, on my skin, I noticed it was 6 weeks. For Jay, he really noticed on his joints. It was golf season, the beginning of golf, so it would have been April. So he started in February, March, April. He started to notice that he could walk without pain in his knees. He could get in and out of the car. He could go to Home Depot and walk. You know, sometimes when you walk on that concrete floor, it can hurt your legs. So he noticed that. For me, I never really had a lot of joint pain, so I didn't see a difference in that. But I saw a difference in my skin moisture. I have dry skin. I know it's hard to tell now, but that's where I really, and I believe I saw a difference in my hair as well. I have very thin hair, and I think the collagen supplement has helped my hair. Maybe that along with biotin.
Okay. The baking diva, I wanted to go back up here to something she said. Let's see if I can find it really quick.
Oh, we have 60.
Oh, she was talking about her doctor told her to swim, the best exercise for her knee issue. And I will say that is true. I took water aerobics prior to leaving the gym, and there is no gravity. And so they have, believe it or not, they have little dumbbells and different weights that you can work with in the pool. And don't think that that is not a workout. Water aerobics is quite a workout. I ultimately had to quit going because I couldn't tell if I was just off balance. I had an episode where I went low in the pool. And because your footing and everything is off in the pool anyway, I didn't realize I was going low. So that ended that. But water aerobics is an excellent workout for anybody who cannot take just doing, you know, typical things that are weight bearing and aerobic.
Right.
So.
What is it hot here?
Mary?
Yes.
Mary, I wanted to say too, I noticed someone said about Teresa Tapp on YouTube, she does have some individual exercises. She doesn't have anything where you can watch her whole video because of copyright. They want you to obviously order the DVD. She also has where you can do a digital download now. And I've done one of those videos because I already had some that I bought from her. But if you want to just sample like 1 or 2 exercises, go onto YouTube and just put in Teresa Tapp, and you can try some of them out and see if you like them and like her. I think she's wonderful. She's no nonsense. It's down to earth person. I really like her. You can see she's a great person too.
I'm sure if you like her, she is a wonderful lady. I remember when you suggested Leslie, and I tried her, and I really liked her too. Oh yeah, so I'm sure that everybody would like that. So that's a really good suggestion. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Then there's a question here about an adaptation period with, I'm assuming, keto.
Yeah. I never got the keto flu, if that's your question. But it does take you a while to get into ketosis, to get adapted to a keto lifestyle. And I think once, it's still 87 degrees in my house and I have no AC, I'm roasting. I think once you get adapted to keto and you are in ketosis, that means you're burning your body fat. You're burning fat to lose weight. Some people have what they call a keto flu, where they get headachy and and stuff like that. But I never suffered from a keto flu. I would just say, just make sure you take potassium and magnesium. You don't forget to take that. Those supplements are really important.
Well, here's something I'm worried about. I don't want to tell you what my numbers are, but my cholesterol numbers are really high. I mean, I was told like 30 years ago I'm a walking heart attack. So now I don't buy into all of that. I think that you should watch your cholesterol, but I think that HDL and your triglycerides play a lot more into that too. So I'm not necessarily that concerned. Besides that, 30 years later, here I still am. But if I were to eat this diet that is low carb, high fat, what do you think that's going to do to my cholesterol numbers? And would that necessarily be a bad or good thing?
I personally think it probably will reduce your cholesterol, but I would caution you to not go crazy and just eat fat. You have to eat good fat. You have to make wise choices with the fat that you're going to eat and make sure it is good fat. And then no matter what, even with fasting, you still can't eat like there's no tomorrow and eat 5,000 to 6,000 calories and expect to lose weight. It's not going to happen. You still have to, in my opinion anyways, be responsible with your food choices, even with fasting and even with keto. So, like when I talk about my fats, I like Kerrygold butter. So I like really good grass-fed butter. I try to have grass-fed beef. Yeah, it costs more money. I use MCT oil. I don't use any other kind of oil. I'm very careful. I use good coconut oil when I cook. I'm just really careful with the fats that I consume, because basically I eat less fat than I'm supposed to eat a day. I should be on my macros at about, I think about 100 grams of fat, or 110. I have to look at my chart a day. And I don't get that much, which is why if I'm really low on my fat, I'll take a swig of the MCT oil over there.
Where can you get macros? Why am I not going?
I don't know. Macronutrients is based on your body, your sex, your age, your body, and it's the basic breakdown. And if you eat towards your macros, you won't overeat on calories. It's interesting. It sort of goes hand in hand. So if I eat to my macros, and I know I need to have, this many grams of this, and I stick to that, I'm not going to blow it calorie-wise. So there are many, many different macro charts. There's some awesome groups on Facebook that I belong to that I really like. And there's a woman who's a mature woman, and she has a pure keto channel. She goes live a lot, and I love listening to her. Her channel is Go Keto with Casey, Casey, and I would guess her to be in her maybe 60s or 70s, and she's like follows the ketogenic lifestyle. She's getting thousands of people following her on her channel. She does live streams that are really really great, and she gives a lot of good advice. Another one is Dr. Eric Berg. He does a lot of keto. So in the cooking Go Keto with Kristie, I mentioned her because her story is unbelievable. If you catch her first video, I'm going to try to link her first video in the description box when this goes live, because it's so inspiring what this woman went through and how much weight she lost, and she did it all with keto. So to me, intermittent fasting go hand in hand.
But if I'm hearing both of you, neither one of you is really on a keto diet, right? You're just watching your carbs?
I would say
yeah, I'm not on keto at all.
What do you do?
I just mainly eat a lot of vegetables and some fruit. I've cut back on the fruit a little bit to help with weight because I was eating quite a bit of fruit in like a smoothie kind of a thing. So I've cut back on my fruit a little bit, but I eat a salad every day, loaded with red peppers, green peppers, that kind of a thing. And then I also will have like mushrooms and stuff cooked at night and eat more veggies. And I usually eat meat maybe one time a day. I'm not that much of a meat eater, so I sometimes will have a protein shake to make up for the meat that I'm not eating, because I do eat meat, but not in the mood for it. Mostly I eat vegetables, but I do like sweets. I'm not going to lie to you. I eat a little bit of chocolate every day.
Well, it's probably better to do that than just go hog wild one day, right?
Yeah.
Like me.
Whenever I eat treats in moderation, and I try to eat pretty clean all week, and then Danielle and I have our cheat day on Saturday. All day, I'll mainly have like a cheat meal and maybe like a Dairy Queen sundae or something. I love ice cream.
Oh, I love ice cream too.
You know, Swoozy just said something interesting, and it reminded me of something I heard once. I don't know how many people, or if you guys do, ever watch a program called The 700 Club. But on there, I heard this. Swoozy was saying, Mary, I don't know how you shop groceries, but my numbers have been great since shopping primarily the perimeter of the grocery store. I rarely shop the processed aisles. And that reminded me of, I saw an episode of the 700 Club once, and Pat Robinson on there was saying that you'll do fine if you stay out of the middle aisles. Only shop the perimeter and stay away, because everything in the in-between aisles is processed food. So, but I heard that on this program, they were saying that they have been curing people of cancer by cutting carbs and sugar from their diet, because it starves the cancer out.
Yeah.
Have you guys heard that?
Yes, I've heard that. You know, when I say I follow a modified keto plan, so I am like Laura. I don't get the amount of protein I'm supposed to get, so I'll have a shake. I'm not a fried bacon and eggs 7 days a week person, although there are some people that think that's perfectly acceptable. To me, it's too much. For me, too much. But you know, my cholesterol numbers, I had them tested after I started with low carbing and keto, and it's interesting because my doctor is also a ketogenic person. Not that I went to her for that, but she does believe in the benefits of a low carb lifestyle, whatever program you're on. And she says it's amazing some of the health benefits they are discovering now related to that type of a lifestyle. So who knows? You know, one day they say butter's no good for you, eat margarine. The next day it's don't eat margarine, it'll kill you, eat butter. I mean, who knows?
I wish we could hear what Lulu has to say on this. Lulu says, no, it will not starve the cancer. And I think that Lulu probably knows quite a bit about cancer at this point. So I wish we could hand the mic to Lulu and hear what she had to say about that. You know what I mean? But
the more we stick, I think the more we stick with fruits and vegetables, the best. You know, like you say, shop the perimeter. I hardly buy anything in the middle of the grocery store. Almost everything I buy is on the perimeter of the store. And the biggest thing that helped at my house with Danielle losing weight, me keeping weight off, is don't keep that garbage in the house. Go out for it. That's why we do our cheat day. If it's not where you can get to it, you're less likely to eat it. So that really helps.
I think that's a great tip, and that definitely works. Like when we go on vacation, I went out for ice cream, and I had ice cream when we were away, and that was a planned cheat. But if I had ice cream in the house, I would be wanting to have it more often, and that's not good, you know. But I'm like you. I never go up and down the aisles. I go in all around, and it's mainly vegetables. I eat a lot of vegetables, a lot of salads, and then try to get my lean protein in and my, you know, my good fats. But I would suggest, Mary, if you have cholesterol issues and you start this, you should make sure you monitor your numbers, because everybody's different, you know.
I am actually,
your cholesterol.
I have an appointment. Ooh, that reminds me. I got to not eat anything here in a little bit. I got an appointment in the morning for a lipid panel. So for everybody who's worried here, we'll be finding out, what do we think about statins? Because I can't tell you how many times I've gone off, gone on, gone off, gone on statins. I don't want to take it.
Yeah.
But, you know, they keep wanting to stick me on a statin because my LDL is too high, but my total cholesterol. But what I keep trying to say is, and no one's listening to me, is my HDL is also extremely high. That's good, right? So if my triglycerides are in check, my HDL is really high. Well, why wouldn't my total cholesterol be high?
Yeah, I don't know.
So I don't know. I guess we'll see what they have to say about that. I mean, I'd like to know if it's bad to keep going on and off statins, because I do. They'll stick me on it, scare me, stick me on the statin, and then I'm like, I don't want to be on drugs. And then as if I'm not on anything else. And then I stop taking them. And then they go, your cholesterol's too high, put me back on a statin. And then I stop taking it again. So, you know, I know it's not good, but so how do you two manage, because I know you both have jobs away from your house and you're out working all the time. How do you manage these wonderful meals that you're supposed to eat when you're shopping the perimeter? And I know that means you have to cook it yourself. It's not pre-made.
Right.
How do you find time to do that? Do you do it all on the weekend and freeze it, or?
One thing I started doing,
Go ahead.
Mary, that was really helpful is I start where I cook on Sunday. I'll make a huge tray of, I put chicken.
Uh-oh.
Just a recipe I found on Pinterest. And then I put those in little glass Pyrex dishes. And I make enough for like 2 weeks. So I can get to school with the microwave and it. I'm pretty much set till I get home at night.
I think Laura's having issues again.
Yeah, that one was breaking up, so I hardly heard.
I hardly heard that. Well, as far as cooking, I just don't cook much. You know, I come home and we'll have a salad. We'll have, I don't have mashed potatoes. I don't have rice a lot. I don't have any kind of noodles or pizza or anything like that. So yeah, it might take a little bit longer to cook a keto type of a meal, especially if you're trying to balance keto with good fats as opposed to just Atkins with any old fat. So, but yeah, so tomorrow night, I know exactly what we're going to have for dinner. Tomorrow night, it's going to be steak, and I'm going to have a ribeye, which is, you know, what I'm having. And I'm going to have cauliflower, roasted cauliflower with it in a tossed salad.
Oh, yum. What time did you say? What time was that?
Oh, it should be about 5:30, 6 o'clock.
Just if I leave now.
I might be able to make it. So I feel like I've been ignoring our chat room. We have a pretty active chat. Let's see, you have at least been talking to everyone. But I can see a lot of people in the chat. Lulu, I don't know, she's talking to Melissa. And Melissa, really nice to see Miss Melissa out there. Because Melissa does ketogenic diet on her channel. Well, I don't know, do you follow, Melissa, if you're still in the room out there, do you follow ketogenic? I believe so. Let's see if she answers. But I do think she does ketogenic. A program anyways. I'm not too sure if she does intermittent fasting along with it, but I think to me the intermittent fasting has really made a huge difference. I'm seeing that we have 50 thumbs up. I don't know if we have any more than that. And Mary Reed out there is still saying thumbs up to everyone. Our wonderful cheerleader. Smoozy Bird says she'll often cook when she gets home at 9 and make enough for 2 to 3 days. Yeah, that's a great idea. Melissa says 100%. So you 100% keto, Melissa? I think so. And Mary's trying to get it up to 60. Gail Buckley says intermittent fasting as well. She now does MCT capsules instead of the oil. Well, that's a good idea. I'm going to look for the capsules. Wow, 59 thumbs up so far, Deb Boy. Thank you. Look at all the people out there.
So we've established then that I cannot get up in the morning and put milk and coconut oil in my coffee and still be fasting.
Correct.
Dang it. No wonder I'm stalled.
But, you know, you could, depending on what time you want to break your fast. Now, so let me ask you this. How long do you fast? And Laura, when you fast, how long do you last? Are you 12? Are you 18 hours? Are you 16 hours? What's your fasting time and your feeding period?
I have been trying to do 16 hours. Really finish my last meal around 6 at night and don't eat till around 10 in the morning.
Okay, that's a good time frame. So, Glitzy, if you ended up doing 16 hours, depending on when you ate your last meal, you could have that bulletproof coffee or whatever at 10 o'clock.
I'll say I usually stop eating. Well, like I've ate for tonight. That's unusual, but I ate before this. So, but usually, typically, I'm done by 6 p.m. So I try to go till noon, but I was doing great, except I'm having coffee at like 8 with oil and milk in it.
And I was always a coffee drinker with cream, so I had the hardest time with going and drinking black coffee. But I will, like tonight, I had my meal. I've had nothing since 6 p.m. And tomorrow I will probably go until about, because I'm going to be on the road really early. I'm driving an hour and a half to a place I'm teaching. So I probably will eat. I'll bring a protein shake with me tomorrow again, and I'll probably have that about 12:30, 1 o'clock. So for me, it'll be an 18-hour fast.
Oh.
And then that means I'm missing, I'll have a lunch, but that's going to be a good fast for me. But if I did my bulletproof coffee at 10 o'clock, I would have broken that fast. There's no way.
I guess I'll have to skip the coffee and go with broth.
Or have it black. the collagen in there, or the broth in your black coffee.
I need to quit drinking coffee, period. I found out the other day I've had a headache for 3 days, but it went down significantly after I drank coffee. So apparently I'm addicted to caffeine again.
You probably are.
I'm out of questions now. I'm sorry if I seem to dominate your show. The idea here, guys, was these two are the experts. The idea was for me to ask the questions. So it did seem like I was taking over the show, though.
No, that was how we arranged it. So I don't want anyone to feel that way, because we did arrange this, and I tried to see if I could get some other people that were doing intermittent fasting to come on, and for various reasons, they couldn't. And I thought, you know what, with the three of us, it'll be just perfectly fine. And Laura, I was thrilled when you said yes. And I knew, Mary, you were starting the whole thing, and you had a bunch of questions, and I know there's a bunch of questions out in the chat room. So I thought it'd be a perfect Wednesday night chit chat. Right?
Absolutely. I learned a lot tonight.
I have too. I'm trying to think if there's anything. I'm looking at my notes. Only my, for anyone thinking about keto and all that, there's, like I said earlier, there's a couple of really great keto groups on Facebook. And I would really join some of them, and then just read. But no matter what, I think you got to make your own decisions for your own body. You know your body better. Laura's holding up her book, or the book, right?
Yeah, I'm sure they sell it on Amazon still, but it is on Teresa's site. And besides her showing all the exercises in it, what I love about the book too is there's a lot of great testimonials that are very inspiring. If someone wants to get into Tapp, I think along with getting a DVD, the book is such a good idea, because it'll explain everything in a little more detail than just watching the DVD. So I really do love the book. But I think this is also good, Mary, for your cholesterol. doing the Tapp, I think would probably bring down your numbers too.
I definitely want to check into that book. I'm going to check into that later tonight.
Yeah, I'm such a proponent of this workout. I've seen it work for me. I've seen it work for Danielle and all the people that talk. As I said, she's been on PBS before. And this is also supposed to help with your hormones. And that's why I've gotten back more religious with the workout, because I'm really hitting in menopause. I've been having all these hot flashes lately.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm hoping that the workout will help some of the things. I'm waking up at night sweats and that kind of stuff. So I'm back to my Tapp, being more religious with it.
I can't wait to see what this is, because it kind of sounds like a tap dance thing.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I am a tapper, but you don't tap and you tap.
I'll say, you talk about the menopause, and here you go. I have to have this fan, so I'll just fan you off too. Here, Monika, what book have you got there?
I just have the cookbook. Like I said, I'm not a cook, so I needed something that would be easy keto type of meals. And so I have just Cooking Keto with Kristie. She has the YouTube channel, and this person that I talked about that's really inspiring. So she's got just a bunch of different recipes. So if you're thinking about how do I cook, what can I do it, you can just check this out. But quite frankly, if you just Google keto recipes, you'll get a ton of recipes free on the internet, and you can modify them, I think, and you can do a really good job with them. So anyways, I did say we'd go an hour. We're being a little over an hour right now. I'm just looking to see if there's any other questions in the room. I know we have tons of thumbs up. I don't know how many, but and we have a ton of people still out there. It looks like we have 52 viewers right now. So any parting words, ladies, before I say our final goodbyes?
I learned a lot tonight. Didn't Laura also have a cookbook?
I think
Laura had a cookbook too.
This was.
Can't hear her. See, when technology fails, she's holding it up there.
Kellaann's Bone Broth Cookbook.
Oh yes, the bone broth. Yes, we have to all do that.
So in that book is a whole bunch of recipes with bone broth?
Yes,
wow.
There's a beef in there. There's even a fish bone broth, would you believe?
Wow, who knew you could do so much with broth?
Chicken bone broth. You can do
wow.
And fish. Wow. I like the chicken. The beef bones are a little hard to find. Some of the ones she recommends, if you have a butcher in your area, you might be able to get them, but some of them are hard to find. So the chicken's just a little easier to do.
Yeah.
Interesting. I did not know that about the bones being able to be used more than once. I will remember that.
Yeah. So I learned tonight. So I think it's been awesome. I am going to just say thank you, because I promised an hour and we're well over that. I think we're about an hour and 15 minutes almost. So I want to thank everyone out in the audience, and I do want to tell Marlene, Fab and Glam, I made you a wrench, and I didn't even tell you I made you a wrench, but I saw you out there. I said, I'm making her a wrench, and I gave her the power to be a wrench. I don't know if any of my wrenches needed to politely escort anyone out of the chat room. I haven't noticed anything, but again, I just want to thank all of the wonderful ladies out there that are a wrench, because I think them monitoring our backs in that chat room, makes it more comfortable for us to just be able to chit chat. And Mary, you did great being Marta with your questions. You were awesome.
Did I do good being Marta?
You did. And for those of you that sent the questions ahead of time, thank you so much. That was really awesome. It made it a lot easier, I think, for us knowing we had some questions. And when I look at how many people are out there right now, still 49 people, it's amazing. I thank you so, so much. With that, thank you so much, Laura. And I'm going to make sure that when this goes live, I have their links If you're not connected to Laura or Mary, and I'm sure you all are, please do so. Support each other. If there's any other creators out in the chat room, and I know there's a lot, try to connect up with each other and subscribe to each other's channels. And thank you all so much. Love you all, and have a wonderful night. Bye.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.